Welcome to M Squared TechCast.
Hey, it's Mike Bennett, and this is not Matt Roush, by the way. Carrie Borchers, who's a longtime friend of mine. We were just discussing how long. We never say old friend because women just give us a hard time on that. So
Longtime friend.
Longtime friend. And she's now with U.S. Signal, which is our first guest, and I'm going to try to get this right. She's with Amanda Regnerus.
Good job.
All right, I got it.
Great.
I'm notorious for butchering names, so we got that good. Yeah, yes, Rachel Downs. Yes, we love Rachel. But so anyway, they just I'm not sure if it's actually open. Are you building it right now, or
It is
what?
open.
It is open.
Business,
Okay,
yeah.
they have a new data center in Harrison Township, right?
Van Buren.
Van Buren
Gosh.
Township. Hagerty Road.
Okay.
Van Buren Township.
All right. All these townships. Anyway, it's out there by Belleville. We can say that safely.
Yep.
And so let's talk a little bit about that. So you've got the new data center. How big is that data center?
Initially, the data center will be 25,000 square feet with the ability to build up to 1,000 or 100,000.
Wow, big, very
Yeah,
big.
it'll be big.
And I know you guys are big players. I grew up in West Michigan. I'm familiar with U.S. Signal. You're really, really big out there. And this is your first presence over on this side of the state, right?
This is our fourth data center in Michigan.
Just want to check your sound a little
we
good.
have 8 in the Midwest. So this will be our fourth in the state, second on, I guess would say the southeast side of the state, and southwest side of the state. So this will be our fourth, actually.
Wow, really? Okay. And so how many miles do you have? I think you said 14,000 or something like that?
Yes, historically, U.S. Signal was a network provider, 14,000 miles of fiber in the Midwest.
Wow.
And So.
And what's the footprint? I mean, the Midwest to where, you know?
10-state region, basically, from Illinois, Ohio, Indiana, Wisconsin, Michigan, throughout that area.
Okay. What question may I ask you?
No, you're doing a great job.
Oh, thank you, yes. So you could talk about the cloud pods, right?
Well, I'm going to let Amanda talk about the cloud. Pods.
Okay, all
I
right.
would say, to add a little bit more context. When you
Sure.
say why is this our first over in this side, or why this location?
Right.
We have 3 other data centers in addition to this in the state, and we're nearing capacity, not at, but so in addition to that, we also have some, what we call anchor tenants from our enterprise customers that have said, hey, we'd love to have more space on this side of the state. And then we've also found from a, geodiversity and from a latency perspective with the network, if we could have more data center space on this side, this will allow us to access and provide more services to customers, not only in Southeast Michigan, but in Northwest Ohio, and even northeast Indiana. I'm like doing my math here, right? So when we look at our footprint across the Midwest, we have other data centers in Indianapolis, Oak Brook, Madison. So this really helps us kind of round out for where our customers are looking at moving their data center facilities, either out of their own business or from another location, but to be a little bit closer from home.
So we're big on autos down in this part of the world. I know obviously there's suppliers over on the west side of the state, but we have the OEMs over here. So I'm assuming you work with some of these folks, yes?
We'll definitely be talking to them and work with some of them for sure. I think one of the things that Carrie mentioned that's important to point out as well is, customers, large enterprises, auto for sure, right? Machine learning,
Right.
AI. The necessity for them to have facilities like what U.S. Signal can provide
Right.
out in rural areas that have access to the backbone that U.S. Signal has provided and we've built over the last 20 plus years is incredibly important from a latency perspective. So that's also been a huge ask from our customers, right? Everyone, data protection, protecting that data, access to that data, transferring that data. So we need to be able to empower our customers to be able to do that efficiently and effectively.
Well, that's one of the things about autonomous vehicles that people don't appreciate is it's just laden with sensors and communicating with the cars around it, with the highway, with you name it, it's communicating. And each car is going to just eat up enormous amounts of data. As we move forward into that brave new world, We're all looking forward to the car where you're at the bar and you say, "Take me home." We're a ways off from that, unfortunately. So
Yep.
I know Matt's upset about that, but
Yeah.
he's a party animal. Yeah, well, you know. So anyway, also you guys came out with a new study a couple weeks ago. I know I reported it, but why don't you talk a little bit about the findings?
Yeah, no problem. So we surveyed 110 IT decision makers in the United States, talking and asking them all about third-party data center usage, right? I mean, obviously, we're trying to prove our investments.
Sure.
And like Carrie mentioned, we've had several anchor tenants in the state of Michigan and throughout the Midwest that drove our decision to build more facilities. But in terms of, and you mentioned it a little bit earlier about our cloud availability within that data center as well, we found that that survey said, actually, let me pull a couple of these stats up. Right now, 75% of those that were surveyed are accessing data protection type of services from their third-party data center provider. 59% are utilizing that data center provider for private hosting opportunities, and then what we have 56 for multi-tenant cloud infrastructure opportunities as well. So the reason why that's important is because it's not just a data center over in Van Buren Township. It's a data center with access to multi-tenant and private cloud hosting opportunities for customers to be able to leverage those hybrid IT offerings, that we talked about a little bit earlier too, in terms of where they're putting their applications.
So you're real close to the American Center for Mobility. Do you think you'd be working with them maybe going forward? Do you know?
We'd love to. We'll work with anybody.
Okay.
Yeah,
We're
how
supposed
about
to have
that?
them on the show today, but our guest from there had the flu, and of
Uh-oh.
course, leaving for vacation, did not want the flu.
Right.
We'd be happy to go talk with them face to face.
Yeah. Wear a mask, would be good.
Absolutely.
Yes, lots of that, yes. All right, so let's talk a little bit more about the background on U.S. Signal. You guys, you've been around for a long time. I can't even remember how many years it's been, but a lot of years, right?
A lot of years, yeah. A lot of years, which is actually really cool. I personally have been there in March 1998 is when I started.
Wow. So you started when you were like 18 or something, right?
More like 12.
12,
Yeah.
okay.
So I've been there a long time, and obviously U.S. Signal, from a brand perspective, are known as we're known as a network provider.
Right.
One of the challenges that we have is to try to re-educate the audience as to what our capabilities are.
Sure.
They've obviously expanded. I was talking with Carrie on the way over here about some stats. Roughly 6 years ago, U.S. Signal's revenue was 90% network and 10% data center,
Wow.
10% cloud. At the end of this year, we will be at about a 50-50 split.
Mm-hmm.
More impressively, we've had a 300% growth over the last 4 to 5 years in our data center business. And data center business just isn't co-location. That is, like I'd mentioned earlier, our multi-tenant and hosted private cloud offering, as well as our full suite of disaster recovery and data protection services too. So it's impressive to see what we've done as an organization and how we've transitioned our business to really meet the demands of our customers.
So what's really big right now for data centers? Is it disaster recovery? Is it all sorts of protection for cybersecurity? Because we know the bad guys are very, very good at what they do.
100%.
Yeah. So is that what's really the big ones for you right now?
Yeah, I would say that. Security for sure, compliance. That's a huge, big thing, for data center providers.
Right.
I think the diversification of solutions that are offered within those data centers is also really important. It's not just brick and mortar, but what types of services can you give a customer? What kind of access can they have to a variety of data center, services? And so I think from the, virtualization perspective, having the multi-tenant option as well as hosted private cloud and layer 2 private connectivity to your physical assets within that data center, access to hyperscale providers. That's another huge opportunity for customers too. But we're definitely seeing the biggest pieces being that security and the compliance aspect of our data centers.
Yeah, and I would say some of the things that we're hearing from our customers is, the data protection, compliance, and security. But from a data protection perspective, it is also from a cybersecurity, right, and ransomware. How do we recover from? But the other part of it is how do we get some of our time back so we can focus on what we're doing as a business, so we don't have to hire backup and disaster recovery experts, right? We can outsource this, and it's or transfer the responsibility is probably a better way to say it,
Correct.
to somebody like US Signal that this is what they do, versus if I'm a mid-market company and I have 25 people on my IT team, I might want to take some of my smartest minds and have them focus on the services and the applications that are running our business, and then transfer that trust to someone like Signal.
Okay. And I would be amiss if I didn't ask the Matt Roush question. He's sitting, you can't see him, he's just off camera here. So he would ask you, are you hiring? And if so, what skills are you looking for?
Awesome. Yeah, we're always
Yes.
hiring. Definitely customers, and it depends on the position, right? But folks that know how to treat our customers and our employees with respect. Folks that have a servant-minded mentality first. People that want to work in a team environment, and they want to be very driven to accomplish the goals that we set forth. I would say that one of the, and I've, U.S. Signal commercial, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, do it. Or with the shameless plug bell. Go ahead. Go
I've
ahead.
been there forever.
Yeah.
But I do appreciate so much the innovative nature by which we've been able to transition our business and be on top of the technology needs that our customers have. So anybody who wants to be creative, work with a team, and really be motivated to all do things together, reaching that goal
Sure.
for our customers, I think is first and foremost above any technical capabilities that they might have.
This
Yeah.
is more for the students who
Yeah.
might be listening, but
Sure.
what tech skills have
I'll repeat the question, yeah.
are most
What tech skills?
What tech skills, according to the man behind the curtain, what tech skills are most in demand right now?
Information security, cybersecurity for us. Definitely some high-level systems engineers, computer engineering, computer information systems. Anything on the security side, though, that's a great opportunity for students to expand their skills into a very, very sought-after.
Okay.
But and I would add, those are technical skills, right? But then the other skills, we need to be good communicators. So in addition
Great
to
point.
those technical skills,
Yeah.
learn to be able to write and communicate, and as you write and as you speak with your team, because we're very collaborative. We work in teams. We're really kind of a flat organization as well, so we need to communicate with our customers and help share that technical knowledge with our customers.
I know Google, for instance, likes to hire generalists to actually communicate
Yeah.
because, how do I put this gently? Geeks aren't very good at communicating generally. So, but not always. We're going to have one on here. I'm sure you're a great communicator, right? So,
I can already see it on his face.
yeah.
He's a good
Yeah,
communicator.
he's a good communicator.
Yeah.
All right. So we got about a minute left. So let's, you got them all excited. They're going, geez, how do I sign up to work with U.S. Signal? You got to tell them that right
Hi,
now.
Carrie.
So,
Give me a call.
all right, that's it. We're done.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, so USSignal.com is a great place to go for a resource. We have case studies. We have more detailed information on that study that Amanda talked about. We have a really fun thing that we're doing called Beers with Engineers. We do that in all of the markets that we were in. We're just in Ann Arbor 2 weeks ago. We'll be in Grand Rapids, Rockford Brewing Company in April. So you can find that information on there. But that is actually, it's not you won't hear any bells for the shameless plug.
Okay.
Because it's not a commercial for Signal or our products. It's more of really almost like a meetup where we try to have a user group where we're the conduit, where we bring people together to talk about certain topics. And give us a call. We really do like to meet with you and understand kind of what are your challenges, and if we can be a good fit and help you, great. If not, we've met some more friends in the industry, and but we do find that it starts with a conversation, and we really try to listen more than we talk at.
And that website address for careers is?
USSignal.com/careers.
Okay, there you have it.
Traditional four-year students love Lawrence Technological University's thriving campus life, but LTU has always met non-traditional students' needs too. Lawrence Tech offers over 100 degree and certificate programs that can get adult students started or back on track. And most of our classes are conveniently offered evenings at our beautiful Southfield campus or online, so you can balance your social, family, and work life even while you power up your career. Lawrence Tech, where Blue Devils dare.